Hi everyone, my name is Heather. I thought I would come on today and do a little craft with me on how I made this tag book. I have recently put a new digital pack of papers in my Etsy shop and I wanted to use them in a little project because I thought they were so pretty, and this is kind of what I came up with. So I thought that I would come on and show you a little step-by-step on how I did it, and maybe you might want to make one too. It's basically just a little folio that opens up, and up here are some tags that come out, like it's a little pocket for your tags. And then I put some pretty sorry trim on the front, and that acts as a little tuck spot. So I'll go ahead and open it up so that I can show you. And then I just kind of tucked a little postcard in there, which also comes with that kit that I was talking about. And I backed it with some paper because I thought you could write there or whatever, and put a little bit of washi tape there. So that's just a little tuck spot. And then you open it up and you open it up again, and then it's a big pocket down here. And then up here again is the tags, and then you have 3 pockets here to put your ephemera in. And it's so simple. We're just making it with a brown lunch bag, and the digital papers. And I used a little bit of vintage wallpaper here, which also is in my shop. These 2 patterns are in the pack of wallpapers that I happen to have in my shop too. So yeah. Oh, and then this is a die cut that I cut out of my Big Shot machine, and I just glued it over top of some of the digital prints. I thought this just turned out really cute. I know there's a million videos on how to make these little folios out there, but this is just my sort of my little take on it. So yeah, so I'll show you step by step what I did, and maybe you guys might want to make one. Okay, so we're ready to get started. First, I thought I would show you the papers that come in the digital pack that I put in my Etsy shop, because I just think they are so pretty. And for those of you that have already purchased it, thank you so much. I appreciate it so much, and all of your sweet comments that you've left me about the digitals. So you get 8 sheets, like full-size sheets in this digital pack, and then 2 collage sheets. So I'll go through them with you. This one is so pretty. It's an Italian opera page, and I love the green color. And then, you know, you can cut this part off and then use this as something separate, or you can use it as a whole page. And also with these digitals, you know, it's really easy to just print at any size you like. If you don't want a full-size sheet of paper, you can, you know, certainly print smaller. So there's that one. And then this one is like all the postcards. And aren't they just so pretty? I love this yellow one. That's probably my favorite one in the whole kit. I just love it. And this one with the little house, I just love that so much. Blue is my favorite color, so the blues and greens that are going on in this kit are just my favorite. I just love these colors. And then this is, I gave you 3 journaling cards, and this is a vintage envelope, and then a pretty botanical. And then like the background, I made script, and like on this one I used vintage wallpaper, because I thought you could just cut out those little pieces and use them in your collages for tags or whatever. So I thought they were so pretty. And then this is a piece of a scan of a piece of vintage wallpaper that I have, and it's such a beautiful blue. Just a really subtle pattern, and it works really good as a background image on a lot of artwork. And then this one is some antique handwritten sheet music, which is so beautiful, and some script here and some vintage wallpaper there. And again, you could use it as a whole sheet or just cut it up as you need it. This one is so pretty. It's like a dusty pink, and I don't even really know what exactly that is, but it's French and it's beautiful. And then I love this part right here. So again, you can use it as a whole sheet or cut out the pieces that you need. This is a a French magazine from 1921, and I just love the blues in this. In the script. It's just so beautiful. I think it would make such a beautiful addition to so much different types of artwork. So yeah, so there's that one, and then there's some more journaling cards that you can journal on the back or use to collage with. Just some different pretty scripts in different colors, shades of green and blue, and you know, off-white and a more tan aged color, which I love. And then these are all these are just all of these papers combined into basically like a little collage sheet. So they're smaller, and you could use these little collages to cut out pieces for tags, or you know, anything smaller that you're working with. But there's a lot of versatility because you can certainly print the papers at any size you like, and then with these collage sheets, it makes it nice to just come over and like cut out a little section for your tags or whatever you're working on. So yeah, so there's our papers. And for this project, I'm going to use this one. Oh, so we are going to use a brown paper bag for this project, which I've already cut to size. And then we're going to use this paper. And so for this project, I would suggest to to print this paper onto cardstock, and then this paper and this paper just regular copy paper. Because I just think the cardstock's going to give it a little bit of firmness so that it's not too bendy. So that's what we're going to do. And those are the 3 papers I'm going to use for this project. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this off because we're not going to use that in this. And then you're going to take your brown paper bag, and you're going to carefully just cut off the bottom part. Cut that off, and then cut with your scissors up one side so that you can open it like this. And then you're going to take your paper. I wanted to have these little things up at the top, so that's why I flipped it this way. And you're just going to use your paper as a measurement. Now this is just a standard size sheet of paper, that 8.5 by 11 that I cut out from my printer. And then I'm just using this as my guide for my measuring because I don't really measure much. So yeah, so with the brown paper bag, you're just going to want to cut or tear it to size, and then we're going to want to leave enough that we're going to make a little pocket like this one. See the little pocket? So you can see where I've already kind of measured this out, and this is my version of measuring. So hopefully if you're very technical, you don't get frustrated with me, because this is exactly how I work all the time. And then you're just going to cut, well, I like to rip, so I'm going to rip this off. And you can see here I made a mistake and I ripped that there too far, but that's okay. We're just going to make it work. So I don't really care if the edges are nice and uneven. I like that look. I think it gives it just kind of like a more aged vintage look. Okay, so we have our brown paper, and then we're going to be putting that in there. So basically you're just kind of framing that piece of paper. And then next we are going to do this paper. And again, I'm going to cut this part off here. And you can certainly use this. I was originally going to use this for down here. So you can certainly use this little piece for down here. I think it would look really pretty. But you're just going to layer this on top of here, like however you like. And then that's going to be the base of our little folio. Is that what this is? It's a folio. Tag book. Whatever it is. But you can see that I have sewn around the edges of this one. And for this tutorial, I'm not going to sew this one, just to kind of show you that you don't necessarily have to sew, but you can see what it looks like with that little bit of stitching. And what I did was I sewed these two papers before I glued them to the brown paper, because I didn't really want that on the outside. So we will go ahead and glue this together. Get my glue here. So let's do these two first, and we'll come back to that. So just kind of line that up on there however you like. Oh, one more thing before we go to the glue. So I want to show you this. So we have our papers layered, and we need to make a pocket up here. So like on this one, let me get my little tag. You've got a pocket up here. So all we're going to do to make that is we're only going to glue here, and we're just going to leave this whole section open with no glue. So I'll show you. So let's glue these together first. I mean, you could make like a second pocket with this one, because I kind of did that because I sewed it. So you could also do a second pocket here. So the same, we can follow that same kind of rule. Well, actually, you know what? Let's fold our paper first. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit off track. Okay, first we are going to fold our paper. And the way that I did it was I just did it. I did not measure again. I just folded it. And you just kind of have to use your own. It doesn't have to be exact. So like if it's in a little bit or out a little bit, it really doesn't matter. Just use your best judgment. Or if you need to measure, certainly go right ahead. But I'm able to sort of gauge that a little bit. So now we have our folds, which will be our guide for our gluing. So to glue this paper to that one, I'm going to leave this middle section unglued, and I'm just going to glue around here. And for this project, I'm using the Fabri-Tac glue. And if you watch my videos, you know that I only pretty much use that glue. I mean, I do use a glue stick sometimes, but I just love it. I love that glue. It's a little bit expensive, but it's really just such a nice glue. Okay, so we've got, let's go back and reinforce our folds. We've got these two sides glued. This is open. And then now we're going to glue this one, do the same thing to our brown bag. So let's make our folds in this too, just to give it a good start. So I'm gonna glue each side like this, and I'm also just going to glue up a little bit on the bottom, just so that our tag doesn't fall way down in, if you know what I mean. So then just place it on. And where is my bone folder? I can never find that thing whenever I'm doing a video. Okay, here we go. And just smooth it out. Make sure that's lined up down there. And there we have our little book. It's turning out cute already. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is just going to add a little bit of glue here to make our pocket. And I'm also just going to tack a tiny bit of glue right inside there. So I'll show you. You don't want to come in too far because you want to give yourself room for your tags and your journaling cards. Just gonna put a dab there just to hold it. So basically you're making your pockets with the glue, which is the best thing ever. Okay, and then fold again. There we go. So there we have it. We have the basic gist of it. We have a pocket here, and we have a pocket here, and we have 3 pockets here. And now we're going to flip it over and put some paper on here. So that's where I'm going to use this sheet. And I want this to be on the front. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to measure just by placing it on there. No measuring here. No rulers. And I'm folding it down to where I need to rip. And then just rip your paper and glue it on. We're going to glue this one completely onto the brown. No, I mean, you could certainly keep adding pockets if you like, but I felt like that was enough pockets. And then, let me make sure I have this right. So this, I want to be this way, right? Yes. Okay, got that right. And we're just gonna put this on here like this. And I purposely went all the way to the edge on the part that I knew was gonna be my front, and I left the back part, the one that has this little bit of whatever left, just because I wanted that full coverage on the front. And then come back in, fold again, like that. And then we're all ready to go. So then the next thing we're going to do is just add some paper here that you like. I don't have anything ready for that, so let's pick something in the kit. Let's just go with this, maybe. Yeah. So we'll just go with this. I'm just going to put it there, and then I'm going to fold it down to where I need to rip it. Like this. And then rip your paper. You can do whatever you want with these papers. You certainly do not have to use this kit. You can use your own beautiful papers that you have. Mix and match your old papers with new papers, which is what I love to do. Like on this one, you know, I used the vintage wallpaper at the bottom, which I think just gives it such a nice little touch. But then you're just going to glue this to the bottom. And I'm always like real willy-nilly with my glue. I'm not neat. And put it there like that. And see how the torn edge, it just kind of like gives it that little aged look, which I love. And if you decide that you're not going to sew this or put any stitches in there, just tearing the papers really gives it a nice sort of extra texture to your page. So there we go. We have that done. We have that done. And what do we got to do next? Oh, so we are going to add this little piece here that I have somewhere over here. Here we go. I cut out a few of these die cuts on my Big Shot machine, and I thought this would be so cute because like when you open it, that's the first thing you see, and I just think that's so pretty. So if you happen to have an a die cut machine of some kind, cut yourself out a little a little pattern and put it here. And if you do not have a die cut machine, you do not have to use this. You could use anything you like. You could put any kind of paper, any kind of anything. Just use your imagination. Even a piece of, if you have an embossing machine, maybe a piece of embossing would be really pretty there too. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue that. And we are almost done, and it's like literally taking us no time. Uh-oh, messed that up. These are very delicate, so I have to be careful. But I just thought that really just added such a nice little touch to this little folder. So that's basically the gist of it. That's all you have to do. And then you have yourself a little pocket folder. So now we'll just add our tags and we'll be done. I made some tags. I'll show you what I did with the ephemera from the kit. So I made some different tags with these, and what I did was I backed them. So I cut this part out from the sheet, and I'll show you. Let me show you real quick. So if on this sheet you see how it has the script behind, well, I kept a little bit of that script on either edge, and I just cut that card out, like leaving that on the edge. I thought that looked really pretty. And then I just backed it with sheet music, because this is your journaling spot on there. And then this tag I made, and I just added a little bit of seam binding to the top, and we're going to use that in the top of our booklet. Well, I'll just wait to do it all. And then this tag I made, just did a little bit of zhuzhing it up. And then this one I added a little bit of vintage wallpaper on the bottom, and again I left a little bit of that script that goes around it, and I put a little piece of ledger on the back for journaling. And this little postcard I just put some sheet music, and then this postcard I put some washi, and this was a vintage greeting card back. So I like to back all of the images so that they're not just regular white cards on the back, and I just think that looks really pretty whenever you do that. So for example, instead of having it like that, you know, make it pretty and give yourself room for journaling or whatever you're going to do with this would be really cute to add to a journal. I was thinking if you glued this kind of center part down on a page and then had these flipping over, you don't necessarily have to have as much texture on the cover. So then, yeah, all you have to do is just make sure you have cut it into the size for your pocket. And again, there was no measuring for me. I just kind of, you know, wing it. And then you're going to put a tag up in your top. And then I like this, uh-oh, I pushed my tag too far down. And then I like this little seam binding poking out of the top, so I left that there. And then, what did I have in the middle? Oh no, I had this in the middle. I had this in the middle, and then that. Put this up here. Put another tag in here. And then I think I'll change this like this. Yeah, you can just play around with it, whatever you think looks good, but I like that. I think that looks really pretty. And wouldn't this just be such a beautiful gift? I mean, even if you had a special occasion that someone was celebrating, like a wedding or even a baby shower, you could do like a little baby version of this, or just anything, just to kind of like create a little keepsake of a certain time. Like my husband and I, we have 3 seniors because we're a blended family. So he has twins who are 18, and then my youngest son is 18. and they are all seniors together in school. And so with school canceled now because of this virus, they've canceled everything. They've canceled their prom, they've canceled their graduation, just like pretty much everyone else around the world. And so we're just really sad that, they're not going to experience those end of high school memories. And I'm sad for so many reasons, but especially for our three youngest, because they're just not they don't realize what they're missing out on. So anyways, my point was like to make something like this for my stepdaughter, with her little, just as a memento of some occasion from her senior year or something like that. I don't know. I just think it's so pretty. And this on the cover is just a little tuck spot. And then all you have to do is get yourself a little piece of twine or ribbon and tie it up. And you're good to go. And then you have your own little tag book. And I just think it is so, so cute. And I love how these tags peek out of the top. So I also wanted to say that I saw, I'm going to link the video, that Wendy's Journal Adventure, I'm pretty sure that's the name of her channel, but she got a gift from a lady named Angie, and she made this beautiful journal. And if you aren't familiar with Wendy or Angie, I'm going to link the video, of course, and go watch that video because she makes the most beautiful journals. And she did a little kind of folio similar to this in that video, which was kind of where I got the concept. And then my mom also sent me a Pinterest pin of a tag book, and I kind of just did it in my own little version. But I think that this is really fun and a super quick, easy project to do. And I hope you guys liked it, and let me know if you make one. I hope you have a wonderful day. Talk to you later.